We probably should make an intro for this show because this show is different from YouTube, but we're just going to go with that. For now, welcome to Monday Night Mafia, second episode in a row. Chaddukes.
What happened?
It was either Mike or Ant-Man. Which one of you was it?
I didn't say
Yeah, I dropped some things over here. Sorry about that.
Are you do you put everything on a hollow metal box? Why does it sound so loud? Didn't I buy you a microphone with a fucking arm?
Yeah, it's right there. Well, the microphone is on this, and the arm's right there. Because I was getting a business.
It's not on an arm. You have it on a stand.
Yeah, I have it on a stand right now. But
every time you move it, it makes a noise.
No, I didn't move it. I dropped my phone.
No, you're moving it now, and I can hear it.
Oh, yeah. I had to get the cord off of it.
No. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the first noise.
Look, shoot. All that noise that you're definitely hearing from my microphone, it's not a result of me not using the shit that you bought me to use the microphone with. This can't be.
And also, I already know he left the microphone and the arm I bought him down at the beach. We never got it back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had to buy another one. I got this arm here.
Why don't you use the arm so every time you fucking bump into the table with your hips and that ass, we don't hear it. It doesn't sound like the Geneva Convention. What's the fault that everybody talks about?
Yeah,
The San Andreas fault?
The San Andreas fault is collapsing on itself. I don't know where the Geneva Convention is.
Yeah.
I got to get a table that I could sit on the bar top, like one of those computer stands. I just got to bring it home from the office because Mark doesn't want it screwed into his bar top because it was fucking up the bottom of it.
Well, it has a nice rubber gasket. It shouldn't fuck up anything. I've had it screwed into. Never mind. I don't want to get it. None of it is true. None of it makes any sense. We're all here. Thank you so much, Biker Sean, Iron Mike Sleep, and of course Tony Slices, or he was known in his former life, Pepperoni. I had no idea that was his nickname, and I can't stop thinking about it now. And basically, we're doing this show simply because I cannot keep in my pants everything that is going on with the program. Tonight on the show, multitude of things. One is I was presented with new footage from the taping of Hott Menn Shedd provided by Traniola that shows, I would say, as close to death as Jester has come since the heart attack. And then also, I had a listener contact me this week, boys, and I don't think you're aware of this, that was at the taping of Hott Menn Shedd, and they spent all of Sunday in the hospital as a result of injuries sustained at Hott Menn Shedd almost a full week after the events. And everyone thought it was Jim. Everybody thought Jim went back to the hospital because he's got a fucking, condominium there, but it wasn't Jim Jester.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
I mean, whoever this person is should just get to take it out on Jim for like 5 minutes because that is so fucked up.
What if I told you this was the person?
Oh, shit.
Wow. I wouldn't believe
Look
it.
at that handsome fella.
Yeah.
that guy looks like he hasn't been to the doctor in decades.
Look at
probably
that
should-
good-looking guy.
He should probably go.
Could I show you what was popping up on my phone all afternoon? Here's another one.
It's a great session you had that day.
I just send them unsolicited to shoot all day.
Whenever I was trying to go, hey, buddy, what are you up to? I get one of these.
Oh,
And then this is my favorite. This is one where he's like, oh,
shit.
yeah, man. He's he's all business here, Mike.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm up to all
he
day.
takes them from sort of like indirect at the same level. He doesn't bend over his phone like I do.
Yeah, you're doing it right now. It's crazy, too, because I don't want to dox your personal life, but your lovely wife put up a post on Facebook, I guess. It was your wedding anniversary.
Yeah. So it was cute photos, I thought, no?
There's a crazy photo. I don't know if you saw it, Ant-Man, where Mike is doing the same duck face that he always does, but he's 20 years younger. So it tripped me the fuck out looking at it.
He's been doing the duck face since before it was big. He's been maybe Mike invented the duck face.
I was going to say the same thing. Maybe I invented it.
Mike, we got to zoom in on you because your set would actually look pretty good, but the camera is so far out we can see
know.
that it's just a lonely bachelor room filled with
It's
boxes.
so bad. It's just just full of boxes and a printer and a bunch of bullets. It looks like.
That's good. I have several firearms within arm's reach of myself, so
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
relate to that. All right, we'll get to all that. I also found a fun video for us to watch if we have time, but I thought maybe we should comment on this because we haven't been together since it happened. I spoke about it briefly on the episode of the Chaddukes show today, of which I found out, boys, Ant-Man hasn't listened to the Chaddukes show in at least 2 months, and I'll tell you why. I'm out at the pool, and of course, I emerged from recording my show, and Anthony was doing the backstroke nude in my pool. And I said, "Could you please put your is Sean frozen? I think Sean's frozen.
Yeah,
Am
I
I?
love it.
I think I might be back. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You're
we can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you fine, but you're completely frozen.
My computer freaked out.
All right, well,
I
back
wonder
out and come back in.
That is a
All right,
death
buddy.
stare. He was okay.
You should have just left him like that.
It takes me a while to realize when he's frozen because he offers so little anyway.
Come on.
But
Oh man.
I came out the back door, Iron Mike, and I put on the radio and I put on a little Doogie Decibel system.
Oh yeah.
The perfect band for the summer.
Good feelings.
And we're listening to the songs, and Ant-Man goes, "Who is this?"
Oh shit, dude. Come on, Ant.
And then I told him it was the Doogie Decibel system. He goes, "Who's that?"
I don't know, man. I don't take much in.
understand.
You played songs on here when I've been on here.
That's true. I've
yeah.
debuted Doogie Decibel system music while you've been sitting here.
Yeah, I think it's just in one out ear or in one ear out the other.
In one out ear.
Yeah.
We also found out that over the weekend that Iron Mike is not the only one that is obsessed with Charlie Bruce's physique.
Oh,
Um,
it's good news. This is great news.
Brian from Natural Red Catering was being overtly sexual towards Charlie Bruce in the pool this weekend. And Charlie,
All right.
you will attest to this, man, got freaked out and demanded that he stop talking about it.
Yeah. He was like, I wish you didn't tell me Mike's in love with my biceps.
Fuck, dude. I mean, yeah. I'm not in love with his biceps. I'm just saying he's pretty ripped.
I feel bad that Sean's not here. Should I just put this?
Yeah. That's how
I mean, technically he's frozen here too, you know?
yeah, same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, it's so sad. All right, man, let's get caught up with super chats. And then maybe by the time we do, hit the like button, by the way. We are YouTube exclusive tonight. No Facebook pours. We're not streaming on X. We do accept super chats. Thank you very much, everybody that does that. The Venmo is still completely tapped out from Hott Menn Shedd. So if anybody feels like getting the boys paid this week, all of that goes towards paying everyone but Mike on the Tuesday show, and then everyone but Dodson on the Wednesday show. So that's the deal that I have worked out with everybody.
I like it. Jeff, thanks for the $20. Let it rip.
Ooh, Jeff Nelms with the
Yeah, buddy.
He knows I get butts.
I'm butt-sized.
We also have to talk about the revelation, Ant-Man, that you have been, I don't know, have you been offered a contract by the Sports Junkies?
Me and Drab were just talking about doing a weekly thing.
Wow.
A weekly hit.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was called.
Well, you would call it an increased role on the show, would you not?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not sure that I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you
Or
haven't said
doing
no. Mike, what do you think about Ant-Man becoming a weekly regular guest on another radio show? Just get done when you're doing the quick spazzing out of the eyes and the duck face. Whenever
Yeah.
you
So
wrap that up.
yeah. I usually finish that by the time you stop. So I would call that number one, I would call that activity by Drab recruitment. There's no other word for that. He's recruiting Ant-Man to be on the show. Listen, man, I want to be careful what I say about that show, man. But that show,
Well, they're friends of mine.
Drab could be looking, to spice up that show, man. That show could maybe use a little spicing up, man.
Oh, Ant-Man can spice it up for certain.
But
I think Ant-Man's correct. I don't think he's looking for Anthony to come on and be like a part of the show. I think he's looking to tie him to the whipping post, which
yeah, I'm not doing.
So just based on what he did when he called him onto the show the other day to talk cards, that would be a safe bet, right? I mean, it started off
Yeah.
fine, and then it was just sabotaged with ask him this, ask him that.
Yeah.
You're back, Sean.
I'm over here now.
I'm over here now. Thank you, Jeff Nelms, for the Orange Boy. We'll have to see. I mean, keep us up to date. Like, what is the last communication you had with Drab T-shirt about an increased role in the Sports Junkies?
Like over a week ago.
Okay.
I won't
All
hear
right.
from him again.
I feel a little better.
Hmm.
I also felt way better when I saw this on Friday night. Solid Dudes right here on YouTube.
I mean, that's just what we do around here.
Oh my
God!
God!
This was great. That was great.
Well, we didn't know if Orgy Beard felt the same way about the show because we hadn't seen him since Ant-Man put him on blast. He showed up for 10 minutes at Hott Menn Shedd, but he hasn't been out to a show. He hasn't been out to the book club. He hasn't been out with you guys to the Bone Zone. So I was worried that maybe Orgy was, still recovering from the absolute wood shampoo that Ant-Man administered to him on this show, calling him a cock blocker and a leech.
I noticed you administered one to him as well yesterday.
What did I do? I have no idea what you're talking about.
When you were talking about the tabs.
Well, it's come to my attention. I don't know if you're aware of this, Sean, since you've been on your sabbatical.
Sabbatical.
Where's
What
Sean go?
sabbatical have I been on?
Nobody's seen you in a while. I mean, I think we could all attest to that.
Yeah.
Days.
By the way, Sean, when Chad sends a group text out inviting everybody over, and then I call you, do you just know not to answer the phone?
Well, yeah.
Every time it happens, you never answer.
Well, yeah. I mean, I very clearly understand that. I think I was actually napping, and I was like, oh, whatever.
I wasn't inviting everyone over. I was gloating that I was in a pool and it was 110 degrees out. That was it.
Oh, I think that there was an invitation.
No, I don't want any of you people near me.
Oh, hurtful. I'd move into that pool just like Ant-Man if I lived even 20 minutes closer.
I can't tell you how many times I open up my back door and he's just in the pool already. And I'm like, I didn't even hear you drive up.
I thought about it today. I knew you were at the movie.
That's true.
Opportunity.
I went to go see. Here's what I'll say. I'm going to have some thoughts tomorrow on the Chaddukes show about 28 years later. And I certainly will have some thoughts on the Fortress Film Society later in the week. If you guys like cock, and I mean physically, if you enjoy looking at dong, I have never seen a movie with more flopping penises in my fucking life. How this was not rated X with the nudity in this film. There is a scene where you don't know who Ray Fiennes is, but he's a very good actor. I think he might have won an Academy Award, at least he was nominated, and he's on a bit of a heater right now. And at one point, he gets down on his knees, and he is speaking into what I can only describe as the most giant. It should be hanging in a Jewish deli, this hog that was just hanging behind his fucking head. The police should use this thing to batter down doors when they have to raid a fucking drug. I've never seen a cock this big outside of pornography in my life. It was really quite the spectacle.
What movie is this?
28 years later.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'm pretty excited.
It seems like Mike is too.
No, but I mean, why
Do I get
all
to
the,
see?
I don't understand why all the dicks. Was 28 days and 28 hours a bunch of dicks, or this is a new
Well, there was
angle?
28 days later, and there was 28 weeks later, and I think there might have been some. You know what? I don't think there was any hog in either one of those, to be honest.
So
with you.
weird. It's a new thing.
It's a new day, brother. They're trying to turn the frogs gay. We all know it.
Well, the real important question is, do I get to see Ray Fiennes' dick? Because
No.
I'm in. Well,
No.
wait a fucking minute here.
No.
Oh,
There's this big. There's a dude that looks like he's in your biker club, Sean, and he's running around with it flapping around the whole goddamn movie.
Wow.
I'll take
Oh,
for the $2.
yeah.
Biker Sean, may I? That's outrageous.
Really is your catchphrase, Sean. You might as well embrace it at this point.
I mean, I kind of have.
Jeff Schools, thanks for the $5. Fat tax paid. Can we set the over under on how many times Mike strokes his chin at 17 and a half? I'll take the over. Love you, Mike.
Well, the fun part about watching Mike is when you realize that Mike is watching himself. So you're watching Mike watch himself.
I'm trying not to do as much of that, Chad.
Mike, do you have earbuds
Trying
in
hard.
tonight?
Again?
Do Do you have earbuds in tonight?
Where are your earbuds?
No
currently?
earbuds. I left them in my pocket tonight, guys. That was a weird thing, man.
I haven't stopped thinking about it. This is the God's honest truth. I've told everybody that I've spoken with that it happened, and they look at me like I've completely just made up some nonsense because that's a rational thing to think.
That would never happen.
And I go, I don't know that Mike is actually a human being. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's the only explanation, because your explanation makes no sense.
Dude, you guys don't understand. I was going like, I would hear something from my phone. I would go like this. I would put it on the back of my microphone. And I was like, what the fuck, man? How did this happen?
I watch a lot of Ratchet YouTube streams, and I have never even heard of anyone doing something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
I don't know. I guess I had it on coming home, and yeah, I came in hot. Remember, I came in right here under the gun.
I get it, but instead of thinking that your phone somehow low jacked through your laptop and that's why you were hearing it, I think I would just remember, oh, that's right, I have a little Bluetooth thing that I use when I speak to people.
Danny Diaz, thanks for the $5. Love this show. I see Ant-Man, but where's EB and Jake?
Heyo.
Yeah, where are your co-hosts at, man?
I don't know. It must be their night off.
They're early risers. How are you going to get up so early? I know you like to get up, have 17 cups of coffee, then go back to bed and play Rocket League.
That's another factor. That's why I can't do it.
Can I ask some serious questions about this? Or are we going to discuss this more on Tuesday night?
No, go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. You legitimately got asked about a regular appearance, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he was just talking shit or what, but it came up in a phone call.
It can't hurt Pizzo's cards.
What, to go on the Junkies?
Yeah.
No, I would imagine if
definitely would help.
He didn't plug the Chaddukes show. Did you plug Pizzo's cards when you were on the Junkies?
I think Drab did afterwards. I didn't.
You are a motherfucker, dude. I swear to God.
I don't recall saying it, but I did pick up a shitload of followers after.
God.
But I really don't recall saying it.
I mean, it's crazy that the ask would even go out. It's probably not real. And and you're probably just going to get your head kicked in if it was real and it did happen. But it can't hurt your card business, which is the only thing you care about in the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
Certainly the only thing he has loyalty to.
Right.
I sure did pick up a lot of followers. They might have listened to the Chaddukes show, but mum was the word on that.
No, there was no mention of Pizzo cards by you or Drab. I mean, maybe I didn't listen long enough after, but maybe he plugged you on socials or something.
Oh, he tagged me in something on Twitter, and that's how I got picked up a few. Thanks, DC Sports Mark, for shutting me up. Thanks for the $5. Monday night episodes roll. Thanks for the bonus content.
Thank you, DC Sports Mark. He made a really good AI artwork of Jimmy as a Washington Capitol this week that had me laughing my balls off.
So good.
Yeah, very funny. So I guess what you're saying is, Sean, that just from a pragmatic point of view, he would be negligent if he didn't take Drab up on this offer because of the plugs alone, even if it's to, have your dick pulled out and whip smacked, as we know probably is going to take place. It would be worth it for Ant-Man?
Of course it would be worth it for Ant-Man. Like, at least to have more of a discussion other than, fuck you, Drab. I ain't gonna do it. Like, at least think it through and go, Drab, look, I already think you're full of shit anyway, but here's what I would need. I'd have to be able to plug my show, and I've got to throw a plug in for Chad. Like, you're fucking being ridiculous.
He's not going to be allowed to plug my show on that radio station, but I would feel good, Anthony, if you were going to do it, if you at least ask, if you at least get shot down.
Right. Like the only reason you know me is from this show.
Yeah. I mean, at some point,
gotta find a
who
way.
you are has to come up, right? Who are you, buddy? Just a random card guy that Drab happens to know?
Right.
Well, he certainly didn't say, this is Anthony, who is a co-host and long-running character on the Chaddukes show, which is how fucking Drab knows him.
Right. and oh, by the way, he happens to be, he collects cards for a living, and he's an expert in the field. And here we go. We're talking to him about that.
Nats fan Sarah, thanks for the $10. This Monday Night Mafia show is a great addition to the weekly programming.
It is really good. I mean, it's really, really good. Thank you for the $10 super.
I'm butt-sized.
You get butt-sized for the fucking $10 ones. Those ones add up like a mug. All right, let's get caught up, and then we'll get into the meat of our program.
Three Name Bandit, thanks for the $5. What makes it even more strange is all the nudity and 28 years later was prosthetics because of child labor laws being on set.
I tell you what's even weirder, Three Name Bandit, is that you fucking know that. I gotta say, I'm a little shocked that you've put enough research into this to know that about that movie. There were dicks everywhere.
He was trying to figure out where to find those dicks at.
And the thing is, there's a creature in this movie called the Alpha, and they gave him a fucking hose. I mean, they gave him the Red October.
Well, of course, he's the Alpha. He's got to have the.
He had K-19, the Widowmaker, hanging from his fucking waist, and I was like, Jesus Christ, he's running around nude the whole time.
Louise.
Oh
It's
boy.
wild.
God damn it, Rooster Cogburn, Cillian Murphy shows his hog in 28 Days Later. What's with you fucking guys?
Bunch of dick loving dudes.
They fucking love cock, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Bobby Double R, thanks for the $20. I am baffled led that Ant has picked up more tabs than Obi at the Bone Zone. Well done, Ant.
Anthony, I know that pointing out typos makes you feel good, but you can
I'm
clearly
not
tell
trying
what
to
he's
point them
trying
out.
to say.
It takes me a minute. Dude, everything's processing in slow motion in my brain. Hashtag Orange Boys. It's Monday. Fucking still trying to get rid of Chewies.
All right. Bobby Double L, thank you so much for the orange.
I just want to say, I get butt-sized.
You butt-sized for the Orange Boys around parts. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, we went out for some Mexican Sundays has become a big thing around the Shoots household, and Sean put us on marked us on unread on our DMs that we sent to him.
Oh,
Me and I went to Chewy's and had burritos, and it was pretty fucking good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that deluxe meal was amazing.
Oh, that is a good choice.
Oh wait, what would it be? Spider-Clan makes a great point. If you have big floppy fake dicks, what is the difference between that and having real dicks if you're worried about kids being on the set?
Yeah, I don't know. I do know that they often use prosthetic dicks, but it is strange. Like if I was an actor and for some reason there was a role where I had to show a dick, I'd go, well, you understand I'm going to require a prosthetic.
Because mine's but that's just because mine's so tiny. I would want one that looks like a man's dick.
Right. I want it to look like I have a dick. You know, so that makes sense. But yeah, if it's a bunch of zombies running around, does it really matter if they look like big hogs?
The only guy that I know for sure has worn a fake dick most of the times that he's around me was down at the beach one time. It was this guy. I knew that he was wearing a fake dick the whole time.
If you ever thought you saw it, then it was definitely fake.
David just said something hilarious. One of the big twists in the movie was with the Alpha. They panned down on the Alpha and revealed he had a Tic Tac dick.
Once your Alpha falls off.
Speaking of Tic Tac dicks, I do want to remind me to put a button on the Orgy Beard stuff, but we did have a revelation.
Look at this guy, man.
This guy's living the life, I gotta say.
This was before you were home, right? Or you were?
Yeah, my wife took this picture because they were out.
Chad's out running errands.
I was working at Commonwealth Dry Goods.
Yeah, somebody has to keep the store open.
I brought a bottle of wine over. We're just hanging out in the pool, man. Whenever you get off, buddy, we're here.
I'm talking to my wife, and I can hear in the background. I just hear, I'm like, is fucking Ant-Man there? She's like, yeah, he's screaming about baseball cards. I'm like, oh my god.
This can't be. You gotta change something.
This is just a great pick.
I'll shoot you a pic or a text when I'm on the way.
Shoot you a pic. And then the whole fucking week he's bitching about not picking up tabs. And I think it's 14 Sundays in a row where I end up buying dinner and drinks for Ant-Man. Hey man, reveal to everybody though what you did learn about this cooler. This is the cooler, by the way. For those of you that listen, this is the Dick Smoke Can cooler for Secret Santa.
Yeah. Dick Smoke Can got me this fabulous Yeti wine cooler.
Yep.
It is made for 8 bottles of wine.
That's why it's so tall.
Yeah. It's so hard. It's so difficult to carry. It's fucking just. It is terrible.
It's
I mean, he's got to
terrible
be the
cooler.
LVP.
I saw him, Sean, trying to lug this thing across the yard. It weighs 1,000,000 pounds. And then a couple of things happened that made this even a worse gift. I guess Dick Smokehan, to prove to Ant-Man that it wasn't a re-gift, showed him the receipt. But on the receipt, it also revealed that he bought this fucking thing when it was on sale for like half off. And that's why he bought it. And he clearly lied during the show when he said, I bought Anthony a red Yeti cooler because he's a Chiefs fan. It's wine colored because it's a wine fucking cooler.
Because it's for wine.
Yeah, and it's a Commander's color. It's not even fucking cheap.
It's not even. It's closer to a Vikings color than a Commander's color.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's filled with ice still, though.
It has nothing to do with football or beer. Let's put it that way.
No,
it has to do with the price and the fact that he could get him a Yeti for $100, which is what it was. And furthermore, during the broadcast, Dick Smokehan told us that he asked Monk for help in what to get Ant-Man for Secret Santa. Why he would ask Monk, I have no idea. But Monk gave him a different model of Yeti that he said, hey, this is one that Ant-Man definitely would like. This is the one I have. It's perfect for fishing. And then Dick Smokehan completely discounted that advice and then came back to us and said, I asked Monk for advice and he told me to go fuck myself, which is 100% not the case. And I have confirmed that with Monk as well. So he's just backstroking in lies at this point.
Wow.
I mean, deflection.
Yeah,
I mean, look, Dick is great at one thing. It is deflecting.
Yeah. He will make everybody else look like an asshole while he's in the wrong. Somehow.
Well, I asked Monk and he said, fuck it.
I'm going to fuck myself.
It's just not the case. And the crazy thing is that Ant-Man's trying to be a good sport and use this fucking thing. And it really is like when you reach your hand into it, it ain't designed for beer. Like there's all kinds of unused space in there.
Yeah, the beer cans at the bottom are going to be there all summer because I'm just piling new ones on top.
Because you can't. Well, that's what happened when I have that big Yeti in my backyard. I kept telling you guys to stop bringing beer so we could drink the beer we already had, and then everyone just wouldn't do that. Ant-Man would bring his 6 fucking tall boys, drink those, and then I just have 400 fucking Miller Lights by the end of the summer. They're just sitting in that cooler until the next spring.
Remember when Bruce drank that hot ass, what were those the natty light
Natter days
like a year later?
Yeah, 100%. Let's get back to this. We're off target.
I mean, that's just what we do around here.
Oh my god,
dude, that was the second one, I think.
So is Orgy Beard 100% okay now, boys? You hung out with him on Friday night. Like, is he back in?
He was back. He was back as far as I could tell. He was back. He was pumped up. He was kicking game over there at the zone. And he explained why he went all the way to the club but not in the 2 weeks ago, which made sense. He said he counted it up and it would have been eight dudes and 4 chicks or whatever, and he was like, fuck it, I'm out.
That's not why he did it. I'm telling you he's still hurt. So there was the bombshell though that Ant-Man revealed that the Bone Zone trips are being infiltrated by more and more listeners and normies that are somehow being incorporated into the tab that Mike's original Bone Zone crew is a part of. And they all have an agreement because they're all friends. It's like, hey, I'll pick up the tab this time, you get it next time. These new fuckers don't have that agreement, and they're just drinking Heinekens all night for free and spitting on the fucking concrete and bumming fucking cigarillos off of Mike and then bouncing the fuck out to go home and get screamed by their wives.
Right. So the general rule is if you're a out of nowhere one-timer, and you're drinking with us because you showed up with one of us, then you don't pay the tab, but if you start coming as a sort of regular thing, then you jump in the rotation somewhere. But we're not going to push you into the rotation, but you kind of should jump yourself into the rotation, right? This is regular human interactions.
Yeah, well, yes, but you're not dealing with regular humans. And here I have to go, Ant-Man, you know how this should work. So when regulars are showing up, especially if they're from the show, kind of, tangentially,
You gotta be fucking shitting me.
like you've gotta like say something. Ant.
Well,
Wait, what? Why did you? What happened?
Well, did he freeze for you guys?
Oh no, he was
He was
going.
completely frozen again on my end.
Oh wow,
No,
That was
he
so
was
weird.
rolling.
I was looking
He
at
was
Ant-Man
rolling.
like nodding his head and like fucking moving along.
Yeah,
Like,
Sean was rolling.
Yeah,
dude.
All right, you're
because
fine.
Sean was doing this the whole time. I could see it. He was orchestrating. No, I
Oh, we-
completely agree. And look, I did that. I mean, there was a night, and I literally just went inside and paid because everybody kept saying no. So I was like, I'll just go do it then.
Well, I'm saying you got to educate these people that are kind of appearing, that are like somehow finding their way to the bone zone. You have to go, look, if you're coming around, you got to pay. And
Yeah.
these tabs are fucking hefty because it's one tab.
Sean
So-
Chad has been saying that for 8 years that I've known him, at least. Every beach trip, that if you go out with a bunch of people, you should try to pay.
Well, also that's different though because you're already staying in a house for free, which is fine. But it's like the payoff. If someone had rented a giant beach house
Mhm.
and they are letting me stay there for free, you would have to beat me to the tab every single night we went out. And I don't think I'm any paragon of virtue. It's just kind of the way that I thought everybody was wired, but they fucking ain't. There's plenty of guys that I think are pretty good fucking guys that are very comfortable with just letting you pay for them every time they go out. And then that even is I think that's a double fucking dagger, as Ant-Man's guys would call it. And that's because you now have to be an asshole and say something about them not paying the tab. And I found it to be shocking that Ant-Man said that Orgy Beard is one of these shiftless pieces of shit fucking narrative wells, because like Orgy Beard's usually a pretty generous guy. He brings pizzas up to the studio, he buys stuff for everybody to eat there. But if he's just going out to the bone zone like a fucking schnurrer Hazer and letting fucking Mike and all of his friends pay for him, well, that's fucked up.
Well, nice knowing George.
Well, in
We
orgies,
almost had
defense,
him back, dude.
in orgies, I will try to take an orgy side here. If he is acting as the Uber driver for Ant-Man or whatever, like I feel like Ant-Man's got to cover him.
How's he acting like? How's he an Uber
that was-
driver if Orgy's leaving and going home and Ant-Man's walking bare chested around the streets of fucking Vienna?
Yeah, he
Okay,
picked me
well,
up
one
once.
time that happened, but another time he's like corralled him from Springfield, driven Ant then to the bone zone, then like
I think that's
he's-
the night I paid the tab.
all right.
Yeah. So the other thing is, it's not that easy to jump in the tab. Like, the regulars, like my original crew, isn't like super welcoming to like someone showing up and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna pay the tab tonight." Because we're usually like, "No, you're not, man. You come a second time or a third time, then you can jump in. But we got you this time. You're our guest, right?" Like, so there's a bunch of that, and it's not easy. So when Ant-Man, it takes like an Ant-Man to jump in there and actually have some success with that, at least to get in early. But of course, if you're week after week after month after year and
Jesus
you
Christ.
haven't tried to jump in, of course there's going to be a little background of, hey dude, I wonder when this fucking guy is going to ever pay. Not
Right.
Orge, that's never been said about Orge, but I will tell you, without I know better than to name names now, but Ant will know who I'm talking about. There's a guy
The funny Indian.
who,
Your brother.
no, by the way, there's a third,
No,
there was a third
funny
Indian
Indian guy.
You get into that.
Fucked.
There's a guy that'd been coming.
Is it this guy?
He ain't paying shit. All
No.
right.
I know for a fact he ain't picking up no fucking tabs.
No, definitely not there either.
So this guy took forever to pay a tab. I would say over a year. He's a friend, but he wasn't in the in the crew. And now both of his 20-something-year-old sons come and drink on the tab.
What?
And this week, one of them brought a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and she was drinking on the tab.
Get the fuck out of here.
And like, so
Dude.
that raises a whole bunch of shit. Like, number one, why are we paying for your fucking kids to run around here and have drinks with us? And why are they hanging with us? We're old men. We're fucking boring as fuck. What are
You're
you
not,
doing
you're not
here? What are
boring
you
from
doing?
what I hear. That's not true.
I mean, we're funny, but I mean, we're funny to older folks. to 20 somethings.
Yeah, it was it was a little crazy.
What are they doing?
Sean, but don't you think these guys are cucks? I mean, at that point, you have to say something. You have to say, if you're going to bring your kids, you're paying for them, and also, why are you bringing your kids?
Yes, there is a point, right? So I get it. If you're, Mike and his friends do all seem very generous. The one time that I interacted with them there. If there's a guy coming around who's not picking up a tab regularly, and then he starts bringing additional people, he is fucking your butt, Mike. That's what why he's bringing them. He's like, hey, let's go to this place. We'll drink for free. That's what he told his kids. You know it.
What's funny is, like, the very first time he finally paid a tab, which was 18 months into coming over here regularly. Like the next week, his kids all showed up. Like he knew he wasn't paying the next.
He was gonna stick it to you guys after that.
He knew he wasn't paying for 18 months.
Right.
Thanks for the $5. Fish Hat, what's the point with all the dicks?
Thank you for referring to me as my Christian name. And if people are just tuning in, that could be a very confusing question for them because there's just 3 dicks that I host the show with every week. That's all that it is. Don't worry about it.
Because we're all gay.
The dicks are on the zombies in 28 years later, because it's 28 years later, so all the clothes have worn off the zombies, and so when they're running around, their dicks are flopping everywhere. And I would say it's just like up at the Bone Zone, it's 3 dudes for every 1 chick zombie. And so any nudity is very much mitigated by all of the dongers that are just bobbing up and down, which I don't understand, because if you can keep purple pants on the Hulk, and God knows he would rip out of those bad boys, we can put some fucking G-strings on the zombies so we don't have to look at that shit. But yeah, if you like cock, that's the movie for you. And there's also there's a scene about 2/3 of the way through where you're like, nobody said we wouldn't be doing this. Nobody said this is not something that would happen in this universe, and flies in the face of everything we've written over the first 2.5 movies. But I'll have some more thoughts a little bit later on. I'm happy it's doing well, and looks like we're going to get a sequel. Thank you, Hank. We do like super chats. Speaking of super chats, Venmo is wide open, and that is going towards paying all the people on the show this week. Tully, thank you so much for the Venmo. He said, for outstanding entertainment.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is going on?
Give you a little band dance for that, Tully. Thank you so much for the Venmo. Appreciate you.
Was that JP Finley Brian was with, or?
I don't know. So there's drama there too. Apparently, Brian is also committed to catering largemouth asses. Big fucking July 4th Independence Day throwdown. And I'm like, how is he gonna do both?
Day?
How's he gonna do JP Finley and largemouth ass?
Wow.
He can do it. I mean, he's all over it.
Yeah, he's just dropping it off, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
He's got quite the operation going on there.
He certainly does. You know who else has got quite the operation going on? This guy.
Yay. Look at that guy.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, does he have a double chin? I can't tell.
Oh God,
Mike, I gotta say, you gotta figure out what all these noisy ticks and humbars are that you do when you're on the show.
Yeah,
I mean, you're the wiggliest dude I've ever met.
Yeah. A more comfortable chair, maybe.
he's
about
an
this?
alien. He can't be from here. He's a Martian.
No.
There's only one explanation.
Nah, dude.
Encompasses everything.
Shun figured it out right away. I've got a little bit of a turkey neck, I'm a little paranoid about it, so I fucking do this a lot to block it.
I know that if you stop,
I mean, he literally figured it out in fucking 10 minutes.
well, it's not I don't have to be Fraser Crane to fucking crack your skull open. But what I would say, Mike, is when I'm doing the show, I'm looking at the 3 of you guys. I don't spend a lot of time looking at myself. You probably should try to do that. You should probably start looking at something else.
To do more of that.
My favorite is when one of you is talking and I just see him going like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. How about this? I'm gonna try to look at whoever talks. How about that?
Oh, that's nice.
That's what we all do. Don't look at yourself when you're talking, though.
Okay.
Generally how we do it. Yeah.
It'd be great if you did that, actually.
Okay.
Josh Kim, thanks for the $5. Guess I'm going to the Bone Zone next Friday. I'm in town for 36 hours. Would have to be wherever I was at in Del Rey.
Oh yeah, you just drink for free if you go up to the Bone Zone. Don't cost nobody nothing. No tab even comes.
Yeah. Josh, if you want to meet me at Great Wolf Lodge, Williamsburg on Wednesday on my way down to the Outer Banks,
Oh, wow.
I'll be stopping in.
Oh, that's the next bit of news. Ant-Man says he's stopping by the Great Wolf Lodge in Williamsburg just to eat. He's stopping in just for the food.
He's
Yeah.
such a liar.
Solo?
He won't do it, coward.
You want to bet? I've got a whole plan. They got delicious pretzels
What's the plan?
to stop in. I got to see what's going on there.
I wish I could figure out which one of these is is this the least intrusive one?
No,
I feel like we did this once before. and
Every
think
time I
it's
take a
just-
super chat, it just completely obfuscates half the fucking show. You know, and I like the super chats more than the host, so keep them coming. Thank you, Josh Kim. I appreciate that, bud.
Dabbleverse Dabbler, thanks for the $2.
Whoa.
Mikey Sleep, congrats on 24 years with
Oh,
butt.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
24?
Thank
Is it 24 years?
24 is 24 married. Remember that I can't make a decision, so we dated for 10 until she told me we were getting married.
Oh my God.
So 34 years in December, but yeah, 24 years married.
24
Wow.
years married. I was with my chick, I think, for like 8 years before we got married. Just
Yeah.
because I didn't. Neither one of us felt all that compelled to do it. Would you feel compelled to fucking locking all this down?
Right.
I mean, I just can't even. What I do is I keep this.
That's
Whatever
a sticker.
That's a great look. there.
Whenever I think I'm turning things around, boys, and I'm like, maybe things are going to be okay, I pull this picture up and I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, no, everything's
Fuck.
it's all going to be over soon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a sticker out of that. That'd be really funny.
It's so good.
Also, thanks for the $5. To be fair, Mike Sleep is a representative of every North African, Middle Eastern uncle. He's just repping for the culture.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
buddy. That's right.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right, Al, you're allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say that, unfortunately. Thank you for the super chat, though.
Hey, Shoot, can I?
Yes.
You put me on to those Twist of Lime glass bottle Topo Chicos.
Mm-hmm.
I've drank 100 of them.
I know that's the
It's
only
fine.
problem.
They are so good.
Yeah, they're
I've-
addictive, man.
Yeah, I've run out and I'm like scratching. I was like, how do
Yeah.
I get more? I need
They
more.
get super ice cold and they're real bubbly, and the lime flavoring doesn't taste fake. I highly recommend it. Anybody that's getting into the bubbly game. They don't come in cans, which kind of sucks. So it's a glass bottle, but it's the Topo Chico mineral water carbonated with lime. That's it. The problem is like all the boxes look
Wow.
very, very similar. So you got to make sure that you're buying the right one. Mike, you love it.
What is it? What is it?
It's a bubbly water.
Oh, bubbly water. Yes. Okay.
Bring one in for
I'm
him
in.
Tuesday night just so he can try it.
I'm
All
in.
right, I'll make sure to bring some.
Yeah, bring as many Pepsi Zero cherry vanillas as you can find. I want to choke on it and die. I love that shit. So
I've got another 12 pack to bring.
all right. What do you guys want to do first? Do you want to do Jester almost buying the farm, or do you want to reveal what happened to one of the attendees of Hott Menn Shedd that made him end up in the ER?
Oh,
Hott Menn Shed.
Well,
that's
they're
all.
technically both Hott
They're
Menn
both-
Shedd.
The ER. The ER.
Idiots. Boob.
They're really good, but like
Yeah.
to keep the continuity, it might work if we start with Jim
Okay.
and then
Ant-Man's a dope. It'd be like, all right, do you want to talk about the Vikings or the Raiders? Yeah, the Vikings and Raiders. It's like, all right, well,
football. Football, yep. NFL.
all right, now Mike, you weren't up there for this. We would love to have had you, but I guarantee
Yeah.
it was cooler in Lebanon that day.
Destroying it, dude.
Wow.
Oh
all right,
my
little
God.
context
Oh
here.
my
Yeah.
God.
So this is Jimmy. This is the very first weapon that he chooses. And if you're a casual listener, you don't know what this is. We went up and recorded a CD exclusive episode called Hott Menn Shedd. It will be available August 2nd. And Jimmy's was tasked with taking this shed down this summer for his parents. And we thought, why not make it a little entertaining? We'll give him some weapons and we'll record an episode as he destroys this thing. You getting fidgety, Ant-Man?
I just had to stand up. These bar stools are not that comfortable. They're fucking old.
You've only done 700 shows from down there. Why would you pull a more comfortable chair up?
Because they're all
Why
short.
won't anybody just fucking do the show from somewhere they're comfortable? Get an office, a little desk. I don't understand.
Because the
Oh,
background in my office is a disaster. So
He doesn't want everybody to see that he lives in fucking squalor, which I understand.
Buy a step and repeat or something. You have
Yeah.
$80.
You know, shit. Why don't you use that fat junkies money that you're getting in and buy yourself a backdrop?
And then do what with it?
You put it behind you, stupid, so you can be anywhere in your house that you want.
Ah, okay.
You really need to be told what to do with a backdrop?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I never worried about any of this shit until I met you. Just fucking chilling for didn't care about anything. Fucking all drugged out fucking most of my life.
Sure.
I had no idea what was going on.
I know, but when Sean says backdrop and you're like, what do I do with it? I mean, it's in the name of the fucking item.
Well, I didn't even know what he was talking about at first because he said step and repeat. I'm like,
Well,
dude,
that's
what?
that.
You want me to march around?
I've only used the step and repeat line 700 times around you. The step and repeats are the ones where you can step on them and then you pull them up with a fucking. We have one for the show. We had them for Big O and Dukes. I guarantee you've seen them.
Oh yeah, I think we got one for Window Nation.
You've seen 100 million of them. You are a potato.
You don't know Doogie Decimal System. He doesn't know what a backdrop is. I mean, it's a fucking nightmare.
I know Hideo Nomo.
Okay, fair enough. So we recorded this CD, and it was horrible. Jim's backyard was filled with lantern flies. It was filled with rats. We were chewed to death by mosquitoes. And there was a crazy juice head up there named H-Mac, allegedly, who decided during the middle of the show to start removing things from the shed for no reason whatsoever. And the reason why I needed to bring that up is take a look at this. That is not a brown lawnmower.
So
that is a green lawnmower, Iron Mike. Do you see that lawnmower right there?
Yes.
That is green.
Lime green.
And it has a caking of. Is that rodent shit or?
I mean, that's not pecan crusted fucking trout. I'll tell you that much.
It's definitely
a combination of it's a dirt floor, and then just dust from being there for years, and then as you stated, rodent shit.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, which was pointed out to by Jim when he got done with it, how much rat shit there was. We didn't know at this point that this unit was filled with rat feces. So Jim doesn't know that thing was there. I know it looks like it here, but H-Mac, as Jim is getting ready to start swatting the shed, H-Mac rolls this lawnmower in Jim, unbeknownst to him, which is what makes it all the crazy. You can kind of see the outlet. If you see that little tiny gray box to the very right of the screen, that is an outlet, an indoor outlet, by the way. Man, didn't you confirm that?
Yep, it's a electrical an extension cord run about 3 inches under the ground out to the shed.
And it's like a box on the end of it, but it's one that's supposed to be for inside, not exterior wiring. Right. And it's live. It is what Jim has plugged that laptop that you see in this screen into that fucking box. And there's a frayed, horrible wire that leads from the shed all the way to that box. Okay.
Rodents have probably been chewing on it for 10 years.
This is all true. I think after the show, like I think Clint might have been inspecting it. Part of that, it's like taped. Part of that cable that was ran underground, it was like all taped up. Like it was shitty before they put it in.
Yeah, it's terrible. This Clamp is in the chat. He's saying the rats owned that shed. I mean, they were all over the place. So this is the very first weapon. It's a hockey stick that we gave the Jim to use to whack this shed off. I probably could have stated that better. And so he's really effective here. So you're going to see that we're kind of impressed from the jump at what he's doing, but then we'll let the rest of it speak for itself and then we can discuss.
He's destroying it, dude.
Wow.
The whole side's coming off.
How is the hockey stick still in one piece?
Jimmy, take it easy. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
No. Oh my god, poor Jim.
Oh god. Mike, did you even see what he landed on?
No. I don't know what he landed on. I don't know how, if he fell over that lawnmower and didn't take any of that crust off, someone's gonna have to.
Oh, that's another thing I didn't even notice. See, that's why we need multiple sets of eyes watching this travesty.
Jimmy, take it easy.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Mike, look what's right there.
He's right on the box. Did you see what he fell on? He fell right on top of the fucking freight outlet.
Yeah. That is running the board. That's running
So
the
that's straight in his
computer.
spine. It's,
Oh yeah.
And he's sweaty as hell.
And the thing about it is, it makes no impact on him. First of all, look at those, Ant-Man, may I?
Yeah.
Hurting ankle socks.
uh,
Hurting.
I got him a dozen nice ankle socks.
he
Like
looks like
nice ones.
like a stuck turtle.
I mean, and you know he's got all the confidence in the world. He like flipped the cap around. He's got the shades. He's got the gloves. Again, look like Jose Calzone out there, fucking killing this goddamn shed. In his defense, we were pretty impressed with how much he was tearing into that shed from the jump. But he immediately falls. And here's what I want you to pay attention to moving forward. If we didn't scream, Jim, get off that fucking wire, you're gonna die, he would have laid there for another 40 minutes just because he was laying down.
Wait, is that a cut too on his calf that was up in the air?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He got cut when he fell over, I believe.
The crust of the lawnmower cut his calf, but didn't come uncrusted.
That's disgusting. The crust of the lawnmower. I'm going to vomit.
but Mike is
By the way,
right.
as a baseball former baseball coach, man, he's taking some nice cuts here.
There are some nice cuts. We would have been impressed if he wasn't such a dope.
Side's coming off.
How is the hockey stick still in one
All right,
piece?
Jimmy, take it easy. Oh, Lord.
Whoa,
Oh, no, he fell over. Oh, he fell over. He's down.
Get off the electrical cord. You're sweating.
Oh
He
my
just fell
god!
over the lawnmower.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God!
God, he's not wasting any time.
No, he was I got to tell you something, Mike. I don't know if you guys felt it. Whenever I'm around Jim and he's able to do anything physical, his volcanic anger that he has buried low these 46 years is just ready to explode. And you can feel it, and it permeates. Like there's such rage and resentment for the life that he's had to live. I felt it a lot that day.
Man.
Yeah, he did everything just very angrily from start to finish. He never calmed down, and as soon as he got to hit something, you could just see a switch flipped. It was pretty nuts.
Pure rage, all the rage coming out.
100%. I mean, I've seen Jim be out of breath coming up the stairs to the studio. This day, I mean, he was so fired up, nothing was going to slow him down.
Yeah.
I mean, the major concern that I had was getting towards the end when we got to the bladed weapons. It was clear that he had no concern for his That's another thing. He's ready to die. I firmly believe that. Like he doesn't have any concerns at all for his own personal safety. He was ripping chunks of metal off that thing. He was slicing him. He was rolling around. He was inhaling rat shit. It didn't even set to bother him. Lori says, why was the mower placed there? Because HMAC is out of his fucking mind.
HMAC,
it was further away and he moved it there.
Weird.
You have to understand that HMAC arrived. We're already recording. And he was like a tornado. And he's like, what do you mean I'm a problem? I mean, he was everywhere doing everything. You're like, well, all right, what the hell is HMAC doing? I mean, he's yelling. He's trying to pull shit out of the shed. He's a tornado.
And I think we specifically said leave everything in the shed, A, because we don't want to disturb whatever's living in there, but B, because Jim is, crashing around. He's all over the place in that yard. We didn't want him to get hurt. And the last time he did any work in that yard, by the way, remember what he did to himself, boys? Blisters so bad, his hands were bleeding. Right. He couldn't move for a fucking week.
Yep. And the tree was still standing.
Oh, boy.
Al Sal, thanks for the $5. Why does Jimmy's shed remind me of a tutorial mission for Fallout 3?
Yeah. I don't know why DC Sports Mark hasn't done the Honda slapping the car in fucking Street Fighter 2 with Jim Jester in the shed, because that's exactly what
it's the 1,000-hand slap, buddy.
I love it. Al Sal, thank you so much for being our super chatter this evening. You are a very kind gentleman. Yeah, so like that was, I mean, there's just so much there. It's the lawnmower. You're right, Mike. Whatever's caked on there is so shellacked that this giant sweaty fuck rubbing his body on it doesn't even leave an imprint. You wouldn't even know he was there.
Yep.
I didn't even notice that. I mean, that is
it's disgusting. Look at that.
He's destroying it, dude.
Wow.
We really were. I know it sounds like
yeah.
What? Go ahead, Mike.
You guys were hyping him up, dude. He was getting more bouncy.
No, you don't understand. I know that sounds like we're carnying it up, but it was so fucking loud in that backyard. It's not coming across at how deafening it was.
No, I'm not saying it was carnying. I'm saying it was real, and the more he heard it, the more fucking pumped he got.
Oh, okay. You're saying that
yeah.
he got ginned up.
Yeah, he got pumped when he heard it.
But hey, man, it was incredibly loud, and then he immediately started to see the shed give immediately from I thought that hockey stick was going to explode into splinters.
Yeah, so did I. Clearly, it was made back when wood was real, and he just fucking tore that thing apart. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, he could have used that hockey stick probably the whole time, I feel like, somehow. And yeah, I expected him to get one swing out of the hockey stick. I was like, that thing's from 1976.
It is true, though. It's just like, you know how they have all those videos where people take bread and ice cream sandwiches and like they leave them out in the sun and nothing happens to it, like mold won't grow on it. Like nothing we put into our bodies or use now is real. It's all plastic or polyurethane. Like that's probably fucking theater. You know, it's probably just a fucking nice chunk of wood that was finished and crafted the right way. So it's of course it's going to take out that piece of shit fucking shed. All right, let's watch this one more time, then we'll move on.
Both sides coming off.
How is the hockey stick still in one piece?
Jimmy, take it easy. Oh, Lord.
Whoa,
Oh, no, he fell over. Oh, he fell
Right
over.
onto the power. His hand is on the wire too, man. Do you see that? Like his entire body is draped across it.
Yeah.
God.
Jesus.
I mean, we would have had to run.
It would have been all over.
I'm surprised. I mean, I clearly don't know. Say it's way harder to get shocked than you think that it is, because tell Mike the story. This is the craziest shit I've ever heard. Speaking of electrical fires, tell Mike and Sean the lengths that you fucking criminals would go through to smoke a cigarette while you were locked up in jail.
So the weekenders would bring
Weekenders.
just tobacco in, and then we would use pages from the Bible because it was thin like rolling papers, and then you have to get 3 pieces of pencil lead. You stick 1 piece in each side of the socket, and then you wrap toilet paper around the third, but leave the ends open and just touch both sides, and it'll spark the toilet paper on fire. Then you got to light the cigarette and run to the outside before the COs realize that all the lights flickered and that they're smoking the unit.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought everybody just smoked in prison. No problem.
Yeah, in prison, but not in county. You gotta be sneaky.
You gotta be creative, huh?
Yeah.
They're not big on the smoking in the local jails.
No.
Yeah, Sean would know too. And you had rolling papers, right, Ant-Man? You just you had some zigzags or something?
No. We had Philippians 3:14 or whatever.
Philippians. Philippians.
Philippians.
Philippians.
They've been dragging this fucking heathen to church for decades. He hasn't learned a fucking thing.
Philippians. Hey, man, you better hope there's no afterlife. I mean, if Christians have it right, you are proper fucked. And I think by proxy, I mean, Jews are in the Old Testament, and, you know, the God of Abraham. I mean, even Muslims, there's not a lot of organized religion where you're not going straight to hell if anything is to come of this. So you better be right.
I think we're good.
We're good.
I know who's not good. You.
I'm bringing a bribe with me.
So they'd have to blow up the fucking socket, and then they still had to get outside. So they would have to cup the cigarette, take the burning cigarette out while they were trying to figure out why the power surged. And then he told me if you wanted to smoke at night, they would take the soap and they would smear it all over their windows so it smelled like soap. So when they walked by to check, they wouldn't smell the cigarette smoke.
Yeah, you just use an entire bar of soap in your little sink and get it on a washcloth and just constantly rubbing it on the door. I mean, your door is clean as fuck at the end. It just smells like Ivory Spring or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Ivory Spring. That's what he said. By the way, that's what he said on Sunday too.
I don't know what that fucking
He
soap
doesn't
is
know.
called. It was actually called Bob Barker soap because he's got everything.
You always say this and you never do a good job of explaining it.
Wait, Bob Barker?
Bob Barker makes jail toothpaste, soap, shampoo, slippers, everything.
It's interesting, but he just can't figure out how to say it. So he always says it. He goes, "It's Bob Barker, everything. He does it all." And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's all Bob Barker brand.
Bob Barker outfits the whole jail with sort of bed and bath.
All the essentials.
Commissary
Deodorant.
stuff.
Yeah, commissary stuff.
So am I
Smart, that's good
remembering the
business.
right Bob Barker? Is he
The
the?
Price is Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got the right guy then. All right.
Okay. Capitalism is great.
Who knew, man? Who knew? Good for him.
Is that the same? Is that the when you were in prison all those many times, Sean? Would that be the same thing for you?
I did a lot of overnights, so I don't know that I ever saw soap.
Soap.
I never saw it. I never seen it.
You're in the drunk tank.
I was in the drunk tank and only got moved into general population very briefly while I was being bailed out.
Sean, I don't recommend. While it's fun to hear about Ant-Man's crimes, it's not fun to hear about Sean's crimes because they're like very devastating, and he should be in jail. And you're like, you feel differently about him once you know. I know that I certainly did.
They're wait a minute. They're more devastating than
Yes.
Ant-Man drove his truck through a trailer.
Look at this.
The one that you told me about is the worst thing I've ever heard, and I don't want to talk about it because it makes me upset.
I don't even remember what it is.
I know. So, Ant-Man, so these, who knew that Bob Barker made all of this shit anyway?
Yeah, those are the t-shirts we get.
All right, so
Always.
look at this, Officer Products. Look at this shit.
What the fuck?
Dude, it's fucking crazy.
He makes riot gear for the cops.
I guess so. Maybe that's what the SRT unit used on me.
Oh,
Dude, look at these restraints. Look at this one. Ant-Man, you got to be honest. Did they ever put this shit on you?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, wait, what's that
Spit on a
for?
cop once.
spitting. They've put it on me before too.
Yeah.
Did you
And
spit
then
on a
there's
cop, Sean?
What?
In jail, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like this chair that they put you in, and they strap you to it. It's awful. It's
Yeah.
like you might
I've
as
been
well
there.
be in a straitjacket. Wait, that's it.
Man, Bob Barker, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
And the crazy thing is they put it on wheels, dude. So they just fucking spin you away from everything. So then you're just staring at the wall.
Yep.
Good old Bob Barker. Who knew when he was whipping fucking Adam Sandler's ass? We didn't know that he was going to be. What is this? Restraint cutter. Oh, so this is when you get zip tied. You could just buy a pair of fucking Dykes or lineman's pliers or something, right? Why do you have to use these?
I think those are like not sharp at the end, so they don't cut any of the inmates. See you later, Chad.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
no. All right. Well, now it's just us.
Yeah,
And
I don't know how that happened.
We've left on a very depressing topic that, though Ant and I know a lot about it, I'm not sure it's very entertaining.
You know what? Let me tell you something. When you stare at yourself on this thing, you can't really tell when someone drops.
Well, my favorite is that Mike thinks that we. Oh, look, there he goes.
Oh, he had to turn
See,
the light back on.
You know why he has to turn the light on too? Mike thinks that I'm stupid and that I don't know that he's just surfing the internet during the show.
No, I'm not.
You
I'm
are
not.
because
not.
I'm watching the screen change and because the studio was so dark, you could see it in the background when it was casting the light on you.
It's Dune 1.
Turn the lights back. I'll show you. Turn the lights back off.
Right. This is why I can't wear the yellow glasses, Mike. You got to be smart enough to not get caught scrolling.
Now watch. First of all, he's looking at the internet right now. So
No, I'm not.
when Anthony's telling his story, the light behind Mike keeps changing, and it's because he's going from website to website
I'm not.
that has different lighting in the background. I mean, I busted him like an hour ago.
No.
I think it's
Look,
his
look.
camera. I know, but I think it's his camera trying to focus on where.
No,
he is,
here's
'cause
what-
he's
here's
doing
what's
this
going
the
on.
whole time.
There's Dune 1 over there, muted.
Oh, you had a TV in there?
And
Oh,
there's
okay.
there's
All
my
right.
second screen has the YouTube feed of this so I could see the comments. You know, trying to
okay.
stay in tune with the people over here.
I wouldn't recommend following the comments. I would recommend
right.
just going with the conversation.
I
That's
could
just-
kill it.
That's
kill
distracting,
it.
Mike. I'm not sure you're quite there yet.
Yeah, no, I could kill it. But this stuff you're seeing over here, that's Dune. I could turn that off. It's just on. I like to have the TV on even if there's it's muted.
Hey man, I think Sean can probably relate to just having Dune on constantly in your
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made some serious considerations about just getting like an iPad and that's all it plays. Just like having it
It's not a bad idea.
in my kitchen, and I'm like, oh, it just plays Dune and Dune.
You know who does that? Headlock Gaming walks around his house with an iPad that just runs Star Trek: The Next Generation, all 7 seasons on a loop. So it's just constantly on wherever he goes.
Oh, that's so soothing.
That's a great idea.
And then those are our trays. Those big purple things is what they bring coffee in or juice if we get juice.
Do you get coffee and juice?
Every now and then they'll give you coffee on like a Saturday or something, or a holiday, and then they have one with water that they leave in from morning, and then they switch it out at night. And then at breakfast, sometimes you get like milk or juice of one of those things.
It's not too bad. It's not too shabby.
Yeah. No coffee in Leesburg in Loudoun County anymore.
Oh, well, they probably didn't
Nope.
want you stimulated.
Yep. Nope. They don't want any of that.
What do you mean? Yep. Nope. What does that mean?
Exactly.
There's
Wow,
terrible
look
orange slippers.
Oh
Here-
man.
Here's,
Oh,
by the way, here's Foots Not Legs. Every pair of shoes I've ever seen him wear.
You only get those if you're working.
Those tennis shoes right there. Look at these height things.
Mm-hmm.
this is
Yeah.
What would it take for you to wear? I mean, these are the shoes it looks like Anthony wears around anyway.
When I was working in the
Park.
kitchen, I had a pair of those.
And how much are they? Because you got to remember the inmates do have to buy all of this.
Do they
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
No, we are given shower slippers.
yeah.
That is it.
All right, add to cart. Let's see how much they are. Please specify a value for this option.
What?
Oh, like
Yeah,
Oh, size 10.
size.
Size 10. There we go. 1947. A bargain at
Bargain.
twice the price.
What a bargain.
Some
Yeah.
quality shit right there, boys.
I mean, it'll last because you're not leaving and going anywhere, so it'll last you for a while.
There you go.
Did you guys keep any of your shit when you got out of prison?
No.
No, I had to walk home in shower shoes one day. Those sandals.
Yeah,
I had to walk home in them.
we've had people walk into Commonwealth Dry Goods wearing these sandals right here. And because of that, we know exactly where they come from, and we know they want us to call a cab so they can go back and try to look for where their car is.
Oh my God.
They'll let you leave in these, so it sucks if no. So if they had to leave in those, what it means is that they showed up without shoes.
Mm.
Like so, the one time that I had to walk back, and it's a few miles from the jail to where I lived in Leesburg. I was given my personal effects, and I was like, "This is it," and they were like, "Yep," and it was a pair of pants. I
Oh,
was like, "Oh, well, that's a bummer. Where the fuck did you guys pick me up from?"
so you
and
walked home like Ant-Man did from Vienna. You were bare-chested.
Yep, in shower shoes on a road that really kind of doesn't go many places.
Sure.
So everybody knew that I was coming from the jail.
Oh, yeah. No offense, Sean. Whenever I see you just walking around Fairfax, I assume you're coming from the jail. I mean, it's just kind of the look you have. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Oh, hurtful.
Oh, boy.
Chad's missing car keys. Thanks for the $2. Drunk Mike, sober Mike. Alcohol is an amazing drug.
Well, it certainly does help. But now Mike looks more confused than ever. What's wrong, Mike?
No, I drunk Mike, sober Mike. Alcohol is an amazing drug. I'm trying to figure that out.
A riddle wrapped in an enigma.
I'll get it.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Largemouth ass, thanks for the
Oh,
20
fuck.
Chaddukes Show memberships.
Well, we don't have taking out the pores over here, but I do have the greatest story that's ever been told. Largemouth ass, this is dedicated to you.
All right, we're here at
Or maybe it is.
Plaza. All right, we're here at Plaza Azteca, the Outer Banks. And, hey, man, this is the spot where it happened, correct?
Yep. I had some Pacificos, and I got a little bubbly.
What does that mean?
My stomach was churning, and I walked outside, and projectile vomited right next to this car here. And
Jim was loogieing over there.
Jim spat right here.
All right, well, let's reenact it real quick.
All
So, Brian will play the role of the girl having her quinceañera.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh my gosh, I'm just here having my quinceañera at Plaza Azteca. What is the man with no eyelids doing?
It's fucking great, man.
Such a great scene.
It's A-Man's finest acting job of all time, I think.
That's literally what happened.
I think StreamYard, somebody just texted me, StreamYard's acting up tonight, so I think that's why we're just having a couple of difficulties, but it'll be fine. Largemouth ass, thank you so much. Apparently Enoch has been busted as a poor.
oh.
Yeah, that's a bummer. It's a big time bummer. Thank you, Largemouth. Mike, are you going over to Largemouth Ass's Independence Day party? That's the
That's
rumor.
what,
I heard.
that's what the plan was at the end of the night, Friday night.
Wow. At the end of the night, you're going to go to the Bone Zone and then go over to his
No.
house?
By the end of the last Friday night, I think Orgy had confirmed that largemouth or mouth ass, as we call him,
Mouth ass. His first name Large, last name Mouth ass.
mouth ass was having a rager, and that he had confirmed we were invited. So Saturday morning, actually, now that I think about it, I got a text from Orgy confirming that it's on 1 p.m. 1 p.m. next Friday. So this Friday.
Yeah, Ant-Man was trying to tell me that you guys were going to go over there after, and I said, I think you're going to get shot at if you try to go over to Largemouth Ass's house at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, it seemed like a 1 p.m. kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was confusing the 1 p.m. and the a.m. part.
You're a good man, Largemouth. Take lots of video pictures, everybody that goes over there. I gotta fucking see it for myself, and thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. That is very, very cool.
Josh Kim, thanks for the $2. Found Dick's next passive aggressive gifts to Ant.
Oh, yes. Maybe he'll get you some of those slides on bobbarker.com.
No, just what I need.
I got you some comfortable shoes, buddy.
Yeah.
I know it'll feel familiar.
Yeah, and he'll get me a small.
Let's run through it again. He got Ant-Man a bunt cake, basically saying you're fat. Then he got him a 2XL shirt that he can't wear, basically saying you're fat. Then he got him a 10XL jersey with a nickname on the back that no man would wear, basically saying you're fat. And then he got him a woman's wine Yeti cooler, basically saying you're gay.
Yeah. And 6 bottles of vodka that I don't drink.
Basically saying you're gay. Strawberry vodka. So he thinks you are gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And fat. Well, you should try to be thinner for your health.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
I mean, I know that, but every single gift that Dick gave you could technically be construed as an insult, Ant-Man. That's a fucking shoot.
Yeah, now that you bring it up, insulting.
Just an attack.
Thank you.
I mean, well, now you know how Dick feels about you, Ant. I mean, now you know where you stand, and
yep. If I get him for Christmas and or
what
Secret Santa this Christmas, he's fucked.
He really lost confidence in that, didn't he, Sean? I mean, I watched it to just get deflated right in front of us.
I forgot the name.
You forgot the name of Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean,
I almost said Christmas.
This guy's burning Bible pages to smoke, and now he can't remember Christmas.
Unfortunately, nobody can be as pious a Christian as you are, Iron Mike, as we've learned many times.
I am really good, man. I'm a really good Christian, and I'm very proud of that.
All right, how many likes are we at, Ant-Man? Did you check yet?
No.
We need 150 likes, or this is the last Monday Night Mafia. All right, so let's take a look.
oh God, what in the world?
Yeah,
Wow, that's a lump.
that's a
double
big,
lump.
that's a big hard lump.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
Hey, easy.
Well, it kind of looks like one of them things hanging in between those zombies' legs. And 28 fucking years later, what does that look like to you boys? Just for speculative concerns.
Like a bug bite.
Okay.
Of some sort.
I mean, yeah, it has to be a bite, but wow, it's big because it's coming off the elbow, and somehow this bump is bigger than the elbow and extends. It looks like a couple of inches.
Yeah.
And it looks like a skinny guy, so
It's big and hard, is what I've been told.
infected.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Shit, dude.
What
Damn,
the
you just
fuck?
stick a nail in there and let it drain.
Well, it doesn't, unfortunately, man, that's kind of, you're supposed to do that. That to me looks still, it doesn't look like it's in a liquid stage.
Yeah.
I've had, I don't recall having a bite like this, but I've had like scares where something stings you and you think you have Lyme disease and shit like that. I think we've all probably been through something like that. I don't know if I've ever seen a bite that looked like this. And the problem also is that both of these were a result of the events that transpired in Taping Hott Menn Shedd. And I don't know about you boys. I've never been around a combination of mosquitoes the size of pterodactyls, lanternflies the size of pterodactyls, and then air that has been permeated by rat fecal droppings.
Yeah.
There's no telling what
That was a
is.
first for sure.
Right. What's your best guess there? What do you think's going on? Because that is somebody, and we'll reveal them. We will dox them here. That is somebody that was at the taping. Clearly, it's not Jim, as Ant-Man said, that is a thin arm.
Were those two?
Until it got swole up.
Was that two views of the same injury, or were there two injuries?
Yes, this is. I believe these are days have separated these.
Okay, all right.
This one of them was.
Day of.
I think this one is day of, and this one is at the ER when they finally started to go.
Jeez.
Because again, as I said, they began noticing this wound after we were done. I think the Monday after, and then that Sunday, the gentleman ended up at the hospital.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
I think the only thing that's ever bit me that's caused that type of thing is like a spider.
Yeah.
Never gotten it from like a flying insect. I've been bitten by weird spiders working on cars, and that's always frightening because
Sure,
you don't know what's going to happen. You're like, what was that? And then it's gone. But that does not look fun. That looks bad.
spiders are scary too, because if it's a brown recluse, you realize, oh my god, I'm gonna have a giant gaping abscess in the middle of my fucking leg. Even if I go to the goddamn doctor.
Right.
So we don't think it's that. But this was the message that I received. It says, I am actually at urgent care as I type this. That shit is so fucking red right now. I know it happened at Jimmy's. I have been bitten 1,000 times in my yard by shit, and this has never happened. What the fuck, dude? It must have been rat turd dust covered mosquito or something.
Oh my god!
Wait, is that Clamp? That's Clamp.
It's spider
Oh
clamp.
my god, dude, Clamp.
What?
Fuck, dude. Dude, it's become a club on the fucking front of his elbow.
It's what it looks like, right? It looks like Popeye.
Yeah. That
Wow.
is so crazy.
Yeah, because he's so swollen there. It's weird because for anyone that's never met Clamp, he's not a fat guy. He's very swollen. That is not what his arm looks like.
Yeah.
Nah. That looks like Jimmy's arm.
Yeah.
Like on a normal day.
Right. That could be my fat arm, you know?
Yeah.
My fat arm. That would be the name of Sean's debut single that he was going to release if he was an indie rocker. Yeah, Clamp said that it did nothing but get more red and more swollen throughout the week until he decided he needed to go in. You guys want to get what Clamp contracted from an insect in Jimmy's backyard.
Oh no. He contracted something?
What do you contract from?
I'm rooting for whatever that rat disease was. What's his name's wife?
Oh, they killed Gene Hackman's
hentavirus.
wife? That's a horrible thing to say.
I mean, I don't want Clamp to die, but that's what I'm rooting for.
It sounds like you do.
No. I want him to survive it. Maybe
You just want him to have arm hentavirus.
Yes.
Now, Clamp was, if you boys remember, Clamp was the only one set up to the right of the broadcast area. Everybody else was over to the left under the tree. And the crazy thing about that is there was way more insect action over on the left side under the tree, because that's where all the flies were. They were landing on all the weapons that were right in front of those boys. So it makes it even more curious what the fuck happened.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a spider of some sort.
Could he have been bitten by a snake without noticing he was bit by a snake?
I think we all would have wild. I mean, we were on, you gotta,
Yeah.
we were all so hyper vigilant shit around us.
You'd
Like,
have to notice you were bit by a snake, I guess.
figured out a way to get past. Well, I didn't see Othman Boucher. I mean, he wasn't there. Any guesses, boys, as to what it is? Because I happen to know what it is.
I have no guess. I have no idea what that could possibly be.
Hey, man. Oh, you think it's Gene Hackman disease?
Yeah.
Mosquito borne virus of some sort.
Could it be malaria?
Yeah, like malaria. Or...
Because that's a mosquito virus, right?
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I haven't met anybody with malaria before.
Hang
That
Oh my God.
that bug gave Clamp cellulitis.
What's that?
So that bug bit Brian the week before when Brian was in Glen Burnie, and then bit bit spider clamp.
Dude, I don't know how it works, but if you've seen Brian's leg, it certainly looks like if it got rubbed on your arm, that your arm might start to look like that. And that's what happened to his leg, right? Like it swole up all big. And then it kind of popped, and then there's a bunch of dead. See, Brian's leg looks like the dongs in 28 years later right now.
Oh,
It does
all right.
look
Now,
gross.
now I'm less excited about the dongs.
Yes.
That's what they look like.
Oh, Spider Clamp's arm is going to be so fucking gross on Friday.
Yeah. So I don't know how you can catch cellulitis from a fucking bug, but that is what they are operating under the assumption that it did. I gotta say though, if anybody is familiar with this disease, it's terrible. Clamp had to reschedule a vacation because the medication that he has to take for cellulitis makes him incredibly susceptible to sunlight and getting burned. And so he was going to go to some beach somewhere, and he had to the reason he's going to largemouth asses Independence Day party with the hopes of giving everyone cellulitis that he had to cancel his vacation because he can't go out in the fucking sun because Jim Jester keeps a wretched insect-filled garden.
I don't.
This is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Can you fucking believe I've been sitting on all this and I haven't told anybody in 3 days?
No, I am actually speechless right now. I would be at Jim's parents' house on their porch waiting for Jim to
I'd be
show
shooting my gun off in the front yard.
up. Bring me Jim Jester! Woo!
Yosemite fucking Sam. Yosemite Clamp.
There's no fucking way that he would live to see another day.
No.
Do you know how lucky the Jester family is that this happened to Spider Clamp? Can you imagine if it happened to me? The bitching, the fucking kvetching. He would never hear the fucking end of it. I mean, I would never be able to stop raining fucking terror down on him. Ant-Man would forget what happened to him 10 minutes into it because he's going to end up at the hospital every 3 weeks anyway, getting fucking injections, all the crazy shit falling down, getting concussions. But I feel like you're with me, Sean. Like I would not take this well if Jester willingly let us walk into that fucking hellstorm the way he did and then lied through his teeth the whole time.
Well, and that's the greatest insult, right? We get there, the place is crawling with bugs and rats, and he goes, I don't know. I've never seen them there, boy. And you just want to spit in his face.
He was spitting in our faces.
Yeah.
But again, we were just, I mean, it was creepy, it was crawly, but it ended up making for a good episode. If that shit followed me home, if anything that I fucking encountered up there came back to my fucking fortress of solid dudes, I would be apoplectic. And Clamp's such a good-natured guy that it doesn't sound like he gives a shit. It doesn't even sound like he's mad at Jimmy about it.
I would be pissed off as long as I remembered. I would
about
be so
72
upset.
hours.
No, until it was gone, and then I had one good day of drinking, and then I'd fucking forget. But
What do you think, Mike?
I just don't. Maybe you guys all know just inherently. I don't know, but like, do bugs carry around cellulitis? Cellulitis doesn't sound like you get bit and you get cellulitis.
bugs that have been flying in rat turds, definitely.
That's yeah.
Okay, so this is a very unique combination of pure shit that ends up being able to give you this, right? Like
Yes.
this isn't.
Yes,
This isn't
there
a
is a
mosquito.
storm of bacteria in Jim's parents' backyard.
Yeah.
So any
Yes.
insect that exists
Fucking
back there,
disgusting, man. I
is
mean, we knew
carrying-
it was disgusting, but
I
I guess
didn't-
we didn't know it could combine. Like the separate disgusting elements could combine to give you a condition that you wouldn't otherwise think you're at risk for. That's
The
great.
the shit factor is the big X factor. Like I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I'm never in a situation where there's shit dust. Maybe I'm being fucking naive, but I don't ever remember being in a shit dust environment. And that had to contribute to this in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how it couldn't.
I mean, I lived on a farm and I was around less shit on the farm than I was at fucking Jim's backyard.
All right, so here's the cellulitis is typically not contagious and is not spread from person to person. It is caused by a bacteria, here we go, that is already present on the skin to enter through a break in the skin, such as a cut, wound, or insect bite.
Okay, hold on.
Rare
hold on.
cases, cellulitis may be spread from one person to another. However, if there is direct contact with an open wound infected with cellulitis. However, that is uncommon.
Is that another weird event?
This is unbelievable. Mike was just freaking out for the last 12
Did you
seconds.
see what
and I'm not
happened?
sure what he was
Yeah,
doing.
Siri
No,
was
I'm
talking
sorry.
to him.
Yeah.
Mike,
So-
can you just fucking put your phone on do not disturb
Hold
while
on.
we're doing a show?
Siri somehow was triggered by, I don't know, what something you guys said. And then she must.
can't
She
hear
can't
us.
hear us. You got headphones on.
The fact that it's 2 shows in a row, he can't. His phone is completely sabotaging the show. I mean, this is the big reveal. We don't have a lot going on. It's not like we're gonna have white tigers jumping. This isn't Siegfried and fucking Roy. Like, this is all I had. We finally get to it, and he's again wrestling with his fucking phone.
What? How can Mike be? How does he make it through a day? How does he make it through one day?
So confused. I
He's
was
pushing
so
buttons.
confused.
Like, how about we put the phone
Yeah.
outside the room, buddy? Like, what
Probably a
would be
good
the problem
call.
with that?
Probably a good call. I'm sorry. Can you back up to the little
Sure.
the
Why
little
not?
gem that you had up, or whatever that was?
But you read it out loud so everybody can get it now that we can hear it over your fucking Siri
Sure.
spazzing out.
Cellulitis is. I was like, what the fuck? Where does that come from? All right. I thought this shit was reading out to me. But anyway, cellulitis is typically not contagious and is not spread from person to person. It is caused by bacteria that are already present on the skin and enter through. Yeah. So this is exactly right. Through a
bite.
break in the skin, such as a cut wound or insect bite. So the rat shit dust
Yes.
that was spread into the air, fired up into the air, for all to enjoy on their skin, entered when he just got a typical, probably not otherwise notable mosquito bite that day.
I know AI overview is not completely infallible, but think about this, boys.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Jimmy took the carpet that was completely infused with rat shit and shook it out while we were all still there. We all were covered in fucking mosquito bites. This could have happened to fucking all of us. It really would have been very easy for it to happen. And thank God it just happened to crazy ass spider clamp.
I wonder if us getting in the pool, the chlorine killed any chance of it infecting us.
And might I say, it's just fantastic that we all just dipped ourselves into my pool as soon as we were back from that fucking hellscape.
You saved our lives, dude.
You saved us by allowing our filthy bodies to just plunge directly into your pool.
And Mike, we know Ant-Man and I don't know if Sean's with us, but we, regardless of what you say, we think you're a button pusher, and not the way that people think if you are working in an office in a cubicle that you push buttons and then people get killed. That you're that type of guy.
Yeah.
Would it be possible for you to push some of the buttons and head them up behind the glowing 7-Eleven in Glen Burnie?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And shut that place down once and for all. Well, I know who could, but
I think we know who could too. I think we know who can.
I do. I think he can't control his Android. I think that's who's the guy that can fucking make it happen.
Yeah.
I think the guy who doesn't know how headphones work or earbuds, or that you shouldn't wear both at the same time. I think he might be able to push a button.
The guy who thinks his phone heard us talking about Siri.
Through my earpiece.
When he tried to blame us for his Siri going off, I said, this can't be happening. No one would sit there and blame us, the show, for this happening again. Everybody that blames us for drinking and all the fucking chaos in their lives, it's like Mike's not going down the same checklist.
No, I tried. But,
I don't.
Must have been something you idiots said. No way it could be me. Even though I had huge problems with my phone last week too.
I didn't think I said Siri, and then I didn't think she was going to be talking about a skin infection.
Do you see this here, bud? This phone is right next to me, but I have it on airplane mode and do not disturb, and hence I never have any problems with it.
Yeah, when you're a pro, dude. I mean, I'm just figuring this shit out.
I'm just a boob on a Monday show.
I just don't. Just put the phone in your pocket or something. Turn it off and put it away for 90 minutes or 2 hours. It's fine.
It's actually a good thing for you. It's actually a smart thing.
I was really confused.
Well, so were we, because I thought we were all doing a show and concentrated on the topic, but I was incorrect about that. Before we lose this, because this is all fun,
Yeah.
remember that Jim lied about his mother's illness. She eventually, by the way, went to the hospital because of that illness. He lied about the lantern flies. He mows that backyard. He knew they were there. He lied about the rats. And a lie of omission is still a lie. Just because you don't tell us about it and you say, well, I never said that there wasn't, you know what's in that backyard and we don't. We've never been there in the summertime. I think that if we won't, but I think that if fucking Clamp is going through this for an extended period of time, you can't tell me there's not a civil suit there where he's like, you walked me into this environment, you invited me to your home, you are the one. We have it on video and audio. Jim shaking out the rat feces, and putting all that shit permeating the air with it. I don't think Clamp's the litigious type, but if this happened to me, I would be suing for that hovel. And the second I won it, there would be two bulldozers that just pushed everything in on top of each other, whether there are people in there or not.
The problem is you're never going to get it because they don't own it. The bank does. So
I know, but I satisfaction of ending the bloodline.
The end of that.
What?
Be a crane, like a big wrecking ball and a huge crane just swinging through there. Oh man, that'd be
What
great.
do you think Mike's concentrating on right now? I'm gonna guess hentai porn.
No, I was looking at Sean, dude. He was talking.
Right, but are you listening? I mean, there's a lot happening in your world, Mike, that doesn't appear to be affecting.
I look
any
at the
of us.
talker now. I'm looking at the talker. That's Sean.
Chad's missing car keys. Thanks for the $2. Mike sleep and Monday night equals Monday Night Mafia. Love you, Chad.
What does that mean? Oh, you mean he means that he's like the MVP of Monday Night Mafia? All right, I mean, I would say that, except, you know, for those of us that are in charge with doing the show, it makes it difficult just knowing that his personal electronic devices are going to spurg out at the peak fucking moment of everything you built the program around.
I mean, I've completely switched to just watching Mike to see what kinds of crazy shit he's going to do.
Well, I'm telling you, he's reading Pro Football Talk or some shit. I'm just telling you how it's going.
I do have to say, after the trip to Jim's, and the part that still sticks with me is the rats, actually. And it is fucking me up. Because anywhere I am now, I see any little movement and I'm worried that it's a mouse or a rat. And I was never worried about that before because, you know, I go to civilized places where they don't have them just running around their backyard like they own the joint. And now I'm all freaked out. Anytime I see a leaf blowing under a car or whatever, I think it's a mouse or a rat, and I don't like it.
Well, not to make it real, but I still am going through that whenever I step out onto a deck or a staircase that seems janky. The elevator at the studio, I don't use it anymore because it's always been janky. But now that I fell through that fucking deck and thought I was going to die, that's constantly in the back of my head. I'm with you. I have been feeling like bugs have been landing all over me since that fucking day. When we're out in the pool, I mean, hey man, you watch me. Like I constantly I just dip myself off because I'm like, I must be covered in pestilence right now. There's no other way it could happen. It's almost like a strange form of it's like the PG version of PTSD.
Yeah, I've definitely felt like I've had bugs on me for a while now.
Well, that's because you're coming off fucking the H. I know.
No, that was a long time ago. That was just ants crawling all over you. It was terrible.
Hey man, do you have any when you're driving around in the car? Do you ever find yourself swerving in and out of the lanes because you think a sandwich might be hitting the front of your Toyota Tacoma?
No, because that was like a one and done type deal. I know there's nobody else that's going to waste a sandwich. I'm going down 95.
My favorite part of this cartoon is how satisfied me and Sean look before the fucking sandwich goes out the fucking window.
You guys are so pleasantly happy.
We're so thrilled as the sandwich is getting launched out of the window.
Dude, I wish the structure of it was that fucking secure. It was an oil and vinegar and oregano, tomato, fucking onion hand grenade that I just fucking threw out the window.
Yeah, and it exploded when it hit the ground and just into a million
pieces. I can only say I'm sorry, man. That is not right.
Shredded lettuce and onion everywhere.
Everywhere.
There is no part of that whole series of events that wasn't completely my fault. I fucking knew I should have opened that sandwich when I got home, but I was so goddamn hungry. I didn't even get a chance to wash my hands, but getting out of Jimmy's backyard. I should never have attempted it. I should have stopped and got a granola bar or something. We didn't even stop at the 7-Eleven though.
No, we just wanted to fuck out of there.
Well, that was it. We didn't stop beforehand because you're like, oh, you want to stop? I was like, no, I just want to get this over with. We've been driving for 2.5 hours. And then when we were leaving, it was like, no, we have to get the fuck out of Glen Burnie right this minute.
Yeah.
We can't stop. We have to go.
Can't stop, won't stop. Chingy and the Gunners. That's exactly how it went. Hey man, how many likes do we have? You didn't tell me, goddamn it.
138.
Oh God. Can't even get to 150 likes. Jesus Christ. Hit the like button, you craven milksops. Assholes. Want to remind you, of course, if you are enjoying all the hijinks, the episode in question that we have been speaking about for fucking 2 weeks now. I hope at some point we can get over what happened up there. I know that I certainly haven't, but there it is. Hott Menn Shedd. Welcome to Glen Burnie. CD exclusive episode. It will be available August 2nd at Commonwealth Dry Goods. You can come on out and grab yourself a copy of that bad boy. I listened all the way through it. Audio holds up. The thwacking of the impact on the shed. It's all really good shit. And you'll hear the paranoia. You'll hear us slowly start to lose our sanity as we become accustomed to the conditions of the backyard. Very, very troubling to say.
It was rough. I have never been a part of a show. I've never heard anything quite like it. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, I will never be a part of anything like it ever again.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
You say that, but you've said that before.
I won't make the same mistake twice.
Couple of notes to wrap up with. Anthony, why don't you go ahead and tell Mike and Sean your new plan to quit vaping?
Oh yeah. Actually, Mike was there when I had my first one in multiple years. To stop vaping, I'm gonna smoke again.
You smoked a cigarette on Friday, didn't you?
Yep, and then I smoked one on Saturday at the fire pit. So
at my fucking home, where my wife sleeps, where my children come to play with their toys.
American spirits, they're fucking terrible. Fucking can't recommend them because they're shit.
I went to go get Sean, I went to go get the pizza, and I come back, and Ant-Man's just blowing a lung dart, and I'm like,
what year is it?
What the fuck? I said,
remember.
That's what I said. I was like, what did I fucking slip through a time fucking warhole? And he's acting like it's no big deal. He's like, yeah, he's having a ciggy butt. I'm like, what the fuck?
Charlie's like, damn, you look cool.
That was so weird. Like Charlie romanticizes cigarettes. And I say, hey man, why are you smoking cigarettes? You work so hard to quit smoking cigarettes. And he said, I got to get off vaping, Dukes. I was like, this makes no sense at all.
It doesn't make sense, but it's not working either, clearly.
No.
And it tastes so bad.
Look,
no, it won't work. It'll just become what you do outside, and you'll still vape inside.
Yeah, but Mike,
double the nicotine.
He thinks it tastes bad now because he's been smoking Tutti Frutti on Rudy for fucking 5 years.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what a man's fucking cigarette smells like anymore.
Yeah, but I like the cigars. I think cigarettes are just fucking.
Smoke a cigar. You get nicotine from a cigar.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so trash. I forgot. And I remember when Monk was coming in and he was pretending to smoke and like flipping the cigarette around. What a retard I thought he was. I was like, that's such a fucking low IQ take. And I forgot the reason why. It looks cool when like Mel Gibson smokes a cigarette when he's playing like fucking Riggs and Murtaugh. Like it looks cool when James Dean does it. When Anthony and Monk and these fucking waterheads, when they're smoking cigarettes, they look like white trash. They look like hillbilly rednecks from Manassas, because those are the only people that still smoke lung darts at this point.
It's amazing.
No. There's some funny Indians that do.
You know what I'm gonna do, since you guys like are so low energy, I'm gonna get you some don't sleep energy before the show, and that way when we do the show, you can get you all fired up and want to contribute. It'll be a great time.
It's my day of rest.
I did see you smoking. I didn't know you were gonna pick that up as a habit. The American Spirits, that is the cigarette I was on when I quit cold turkey 2012 New Year's Eve. So that was my last brand. That's not a bad cigarette. But I will contend, that I was really, I really was a cool smoker, man. Like I probably caused a lot of people to take up smoking because of how cool I looked when I smoked. But I can't really do that anymore. But
I used to just be on a ladder doing siding or whatever, and just have a lit cigarette dangling out of my mouth. I wasn't even smoking it, and it would just burn all the way to the filter and spit it out and light another one. And I didn't hit it.
What was the point? Just you had to be destroying money anytime you were doing anything.
I just needed one at all times.
I like that Mike, before when he first started talking, he said, "Well, I did see Ant smoking. I didn't think he'd pick it up as a habit." Like, Mike, Ant is the most addictive person that you know.
Yeah,
You didn't think if you see Ant doing something that could be even mildly addictive, understand that he's going to be a full-blown fucking addict in
the next
7 days or less.
Yeah, that was a great point. I should have known. I don't know what was happening. Were we out of cigars? There was weird shit happening by the end of the night, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I have only smoked 2. One at the Bone Zone and one in Chad's backyard.
that was it.
I just don't know why you do it in front of me. You know how that's gonna go, and then I'm never gonna fucking let it. I mean, when you say something to me like I'm doing this to quit vaping, you guys don't know Pastry Dan, but Pastry Dan was a fucking boob. Pastry Dan was the same weight the entire time I knew him, but he worked out a bunch and took protein, but he still had like love handles and titties, and he didn't know nutrition. So when we would go to the beach, he wouldn't be working out, but he would still take a big giant protein shake every morning because he's like, I gotta get my protein in. I'm like, yeah, but you're not breaking the muscles down, so you don't need to rebuild them. So he was just taking in an extra 800-900 calories a day that none of us were on top of all the shitty food we were eating. So Ant-Man, in his genius, has said now that he's going to smoke cigarettes to get back off of vaping when he went vaping to get off of cigarettes, he's going to do neither. He's just going to smoke both. That's all that it's going to be.
I don't know, man. The cigarette thing might not be for me because I can't get I don't like the taste of them.
That is the only time a cigarette coming out of somebody's mouth is good, is when it's Ray Stance.
Yeah, he looks great.
He looks great right there. Do your parents know? Do Mark and Kathy know that you're fucking firing up American Spirits?
Yeah, I had the pack sitting right on my dashboard when I came home. I was like, so we're doing this again? I was like, haven't decided.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, man. You're your own man, but I'm deciding for you. I'm not going to be around you smoking all the time, because when you were smoking cigarettes, I found your butts everywhere and you stunk like shit. And I just can't even. Sean, is there a more other than drinking and driving? Is there a more selfish vice you can have, because it literally permeates the air around you and affects everybody that you're with at all times? I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Maybe having bad BO, like not bad breath. Like if you have bad breath or you don't apply deodorant to you, it can be as bad.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I mean, smoking is tough. Like, and look, I smoked for however long I smoked for, a long time, and I loved them. But at some point, you got to get off the cigarettes. Even and I get it. Like, I vape way too much. Ant vapes way too much. It was not a good alternative to cigarettes in the sense that it was just easier for me to consume way more nicotine. And that's all I want is more of anything. So now I take in probably 3 times as much nicotine, and it gives me, I get nervous, but I can't go back to smoking cigarettes. They stink. I mean, they're horrible. And no wonder it tastes bad.
Yeah, they do. They stink like shit. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
Because we're both waterheads, and we started smoking because we thought it was cool or whatever when we were 13 years old. Mm-hmm. And you just fought through it until you were addicted, and then they did taste great. But now you can't
Benson
smoke,
and Hedges.
The only thing I really care about Ant-Man's vaping is when I've got to walk through a cloud of Cinnamon Toast Crunch fucking vapor everywhere that I go, because he's just constantly blowing plumes all over the place.
He's got those clouds. I mean, he smokes those things that are made for waterheads.
They really are. And I mean, you should see him at night when he's around a fire pit. He looks like R2-D2. There's just so many glowing things in his pockets. His phone's constantly going off. He's got 8 fucking vapes that have digital, HUDs all over them, and lights, and the batteries are dying. And
oh my God, look at that.
What? Yeah, that's it. Look at that.
Look at that thing. Holy shit.
I mean, that's to make kids smoke, right? Like, what else would that be?
Yeah.
Kids and Ant.
and ants.
Look how cool this is, man.
I just love the fact that we can't wear Joe Camel t-shirts anymore, but they
Right.
can literally build a device to lure children into a life of addiction.
That's so bad.
Hell
Nothing,
yeah.
nothing's changed with them. I mean,
All right, the last thing that happened was Charlie from Fairwinds came out to my house on Saturday, and not only is he a complete psychopath, he's very much creeped out at how enamored Mike is with his body. We found out that Brian from Natural Red Catering is equally as enamored with Charlie Bruce's body. These are gay men. And then
Definitely.
we're sitting around the fire, and the evening is winding down, and Anthony is, I don't want to dox him, but he's heading over to Vienna to potentially pick up a certain young lady and go have a couple of drinks with her, allegedly. So we're all talking about it. We're like, hey, man, what if she invites you back to the place? Like, have you guys gone out on a date before? We're just trying to get a couple of details. Charlie latches on to the idea that the only thing that's going to work is that if Anthony takes his girl back to Mark and Kathy's house, and that they hang out in Mark and Kathy's house to just pull the Band-Aid off, to just rip it right off, get it over with, and indoctrinate her to the lifestyle, to the extent where I think I counted 17 different times he said to Ant-Man, look, man, all kidding aside, Mark and Kathy's is the move. You know, I just think it's the right thing to do. Sneak her in the back door at first, and let her know it's your parents' house. And God damn it, Charlie, I'm not bringing her back to my parents' house. Like, it became like this running gunfight.
It was so weird.
Charlie is a fucking crazy person.
You
It
think
was-
so?
Yes, it was the most autistic thing I've ever seen happen in my entire life. He could not let it go. And
He really latched
for
onto it.
hours.
I can't see that being the option any which way you see it.
No.
No chance.
But Mike, then what's the alternative? He slow plays it.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Oh, he can't slow play it. I mean, if more than 2 dates occur, you're gonna have to go, look, I live at my parents' house. Like you just have to like.
I think that it came up. That's why we went to Orgy's house. Like Orgy brought that up.
Of
that night.
course he did.
Yeah.
wow. Why did he bring it up?
To cock block.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's no other reason. I would never be out with Aunt, and if some girl would even seemed remotely interested, I would never blurt out, well, we can't go to Aunt's house. He lives with his parents.
You would
Yeah,
blurt
you're
it
not
out
Orgy.
if you wanted to stop Anthony from having a shot, and you wanted to make yourself look better. Hey, look, I don't live at my parents' house.
Yeah. Let's all go to my house so Aunt can throw drinks on my floor.
There's a path through this, though, that Anthony never wants to address, and that is there is a way for him to say, hey, I'm staying with my parents because they need my help. Like they need my help around the house. Like I do things for them. I run a small business. They help me out. Like I think there's a way where you can couch this, because we're not dealing with someone that owns a mansion and, no disrespect to her, but she's, making ends meet. She's a single mom. I think there's a way to like figure this out, Ant-Man, where you can still be you and still have a shot, because I just don't see you. I know you say I'm looking for places, but you're not. You're never going to move out. We already know how this fucking works. So you're going to have to deal with the world the way that it is. And the world the way that it is you're in Mark and Kathy's house and you fall down the stairs once or twice a quarter.
At least, dude. It took a spill last night.
Yeah.
This hole in the wall here is when I was carrying the cobbler and I slipped.
Yeah.
My head went right through there.
My friend wrote a song about it. It's available on Spotify.
And he shoot her the link. I mean, look, I Shoot's got it right. Like, I don't think you have to go right away, but you have to at some point. Again, if 2 or 3 alleged dates occur, you have to just, and you could lie or you could, sugarcoat it. Well, I helped my parents and they helped me and I got a little business and it just don't make sense because I got to be over here to help them so much anyway. So I just stay here. And that's it. And they'll never fucking know that that's not true.
Yeah.
I actually like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Well,
Now
we started this whole thing with you saying he absolutely couldn't do this.
I know, but I didn't have that spin. I mean, if it was just, hey, come clean, rip the Band-Aid off and say I live with my parents with no
that's
story.
a terrible idea.
There's nothing going on there. But with this story, I think this story gives you a shot, man. This is the way to do it. And then in that case, you should do it right away.
Yeah.
Well, then we're back to Charlie's advice not being so stupid after all.
Right. I mean, because
you
Charlie's
can't
advice
sneak her
didn't
in the
come with
back
story.
door.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. I'm not. That's so fucking weird.
You could sneak her into the back door of Mike Sleep's house and pretend like it's yours.
Yeah, Mike, can you do that? I mean, would that be a good bridge where he says, "I live here"?
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. She's gonna be like, "What are all these weights for?"
Problem is, all of Mike's
donuts all day.
All of Mike's swarthy Italians are going to come out, and then she's going to be swoon them, and she's going to leave poor Ant-Man.
Yeah, damn it.
Oh, that's right.
Damn it.
Aren't they going back to college or something?
Exactly. They'll be gone in August. They'll be gone like mid-August.
They'll be gone to November. They'll be gone to November. He's telling Aunt's girl that they'll be. So you've technically had the first date though now, right?
Yeah, we met up when she was done working and had a couple cocktails.
Hey-o.
Is that a date?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's a hang.
It's outside of her employment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this is soup a meal conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. But we have to. I think that this for Ant would be considered a date.
My first date with my chick was we went to get coffee. But after when we were done with coffee and it was going well, I said, "Do you want to go see a movie? I've got this movie I want to go see." And she said, "Yeah." Like, that's why I think that, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I don't know how dating works anymore. I guess that was the first time you guys had spoken outside of her place of employment.
Yeah.
That's a step.
Yeah.
That's definitely a step.
Yeah, that's pretty
something.
cool. But you didn't plow her ass or anything like that.
Oh my God.
No.
Wow.
There it is. There it is.
Christ. I knew Mike was going to go too far.
Right to the point.
I was kind of leaving a lot of room there for Mike. I was like, all right, Mike, like this is your wheelhouse.
I was just wondering if it was being left out. Like maybe you plowed her ass but didn't want to mention it or something.
I think we would probably.
Not
it sounded
mention
like they had a couple. I accused Ant-Man if she just didn't want to pay for an Uber. That's why the whole thing happened.
Right.
I hope that's not true.
You guys are bad friends.
That's true. We're not very good. Not when it comes to this shit. That's the truth. Mike, though, seriously, this is what I don't understand about you.
Yeah.
I know you have a one-track mind and you're a pervert. But you really don't think that, like, I mean, you're not rooting for Ant-Man to not, I mean, plowing ass is, you would put it, is great. And, like, you'd hope that for him. But wouldn't you rather him have, like, an adult relationship with a woman that isn't his mother? That's what I'm rooting for.
Sure,
here.
yeah, no, absolutely. I'm pulling for this to work out. But, I mean, you know, at some point, you know, there's going to be that. Hopefully,
ass plowing is what you're referring to.
That's the only reason Mike's here.
I know.
I gotta know.
If it doesn't happen in the first date, that's fine. You know, you might get to know each other a little bit.
He's a great big phony. Go read that Facebook post. I read that Facebook post.
What? My wife's post?
Mike in the 80s is so funny. I mean, I wish we could post that picture up here. It was so amazing.
Man, I got yeah. That was an old pic, but I had a nice little goatee back then. It was
you did?
nice and dark, but yeah. But I mean, listen, nothing changes. Just as much as whatever was said on that post. My wife literally just claims I'm a pervert. She knows. Like, she knows. Like, I don't change the way I talk anyway. Like, if we're at dinner and one of my boys say, you know, "Oh, I met this girl up and we went to a movie." I mean, I'll ask right at the dinner table if we plowed her ass. And then my wife will be like, she'll react just like you guys and call me a pervert.
I know, but it's so fucking, it's so blunt. Especially waitresses hear you. It's just like, and then Ant-Man tells me the way it goes down where you guys are like talking about women customers before they could even get into the fucking restaurant. There's no way they don't hear you.
No, come on. I mean, does that happen?
The parking you guys are hanging out is not far enough from the parking lot for you to possibly not be heard.
True.
They have to go around them to get into the restaurant. I've seen where they sit. I've sat where they sit. There's no way they don't hear everything.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come out and say it. I hope they get Me Too'd. I really do. Because, I mean, it doesn't always need to happen, but I think it needs to happen to this fucking group of people.
We're nice guys. We don't say anything inappropriate. for the place we're at.
They'd kick you out of Vienna. If they fucking if the people of Vienna knew what you were saying up there, they'd remove you.
Yeah.
God.
That might be true.
Oh, all right.
Well, good. Congratulations, Ann. I think that's good news.
Great. That's great.
I do think if we're being fair, though, you guys initially, I think, questioned whether or not Charlie was giving good advice, and it sounds like we now agree that he was.
No. Charlie's advice was terrible.
Charlie's advice is on the right path.
Advice. Yeah, but his idea was fucking garbage.
I love the idea of you having to sneak her in as your parents are sleeping upstairs.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
What if Ant's got to come out of the window and he gets stuck like Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
His legs are kicking.
That is not an aphrodisiac. There's not enough blue chew on the fucking planet that's going to be able to save him from that shit. You worried about that, Ant-Man? We may or may not have a friend that had to order fucking 16 different kinds of dick pills recently because they didn't know their cock was going to work.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
Just making sure. Oh, well, look at you. Don't worry.
Ooh.
I got a picture of Michael Jai White shirtless. I'm going to staple it to the back of her fucking head.
Oh, my God. Poor guy. Look at that thing on his arm.
Oh, Clamp. Look at you.
Damn.
Oh.
DC Sports
Look at that
Mark
elbow.
DC Sports Mark works really fast, doesn't he?
He does.
So good.
Wow.
Oh boy. I don't know if people need to do this, by the way. One last little thing. I don't know if you guys, if you get a chance to listen to today's episode of the Chaddukes Show, I had a bit of a spaz out as not only is Ant-Man accepting a 6-month contract with the Sports Junkies, allegedly, but JP Finley is trying to hire my friend Brian he has hired my friend Brian from Natural Ed Catering for his past 2 Independence Days. And we found out that representatives of 106.7 The Fan came out to my pub, the Old Shebeen, where I've been going for 20 years, and tried to get a Grant and Danny live broadcast going. And I don't want to say miffed, but it was, it was something that I was complaining about, if we're being upfront. And the response that some people have had is this one, where they're a shoot only guy. And I want to make it very clear.
Enoch cannot get that.
No. Well, I appreciate shoot only guys. You can listen to whatever you like. I'm trying to have a bit of fun. It's not that serious. I won't lie. Some of it's a little irritating, but it's okay. It's fine. So just please don't ever feel like you need to go this far with your listenership.
I'd like to talk about it more, maybe Tuesday night, tomorrow night. I didn't finish the episode. I was right in the meat of that.
I don't blame you.
As you were talking about the topic, and I just have so many questions because I generally lean towards shoot is a little crazy, and these aren't connected.
Of course, yeah. I lean towards that.
This seems connected, and then if you think back 6 months, the show from 106.7 was at another place that you have regularly done.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And okay, look, this does not seem like a coincidence.
And when I was there, we never did anything in Fairfax ever. Like, they didn't even try to get money out of places in Fairfax. All the liquor representatives, you can only do it in DC. So it's definitely a culture shift. Look, man, I'm sure it's a coincidence, but it is a hell of a coincidence. We can certainly talk about that on Tuesday night.
DC Sports Mark, thanks for the $5. Too soon.
No, he's talking about the clamp photo.
It's good.
No, I don't think it's too soon. We were just talking about it on the show. It's very timely. Thank you, DC Sports Mark.
Like, if I was Clamp now, now I'm freaked out about rats and mice. I'd be freaked out about every bug. Like, I don't know that I'd be comfortable leaving the house without bug spray.
Well, we left all of us left the house without bug spray. I don't know why none of us could figure out we needed to bring a tin of fucking off Deepwoods up to fucking Glen Burnie.
Well, I know, but now after the fact, I'm saying if I got bit and my arm swole up like that and I had colitis or whatever the hell, I'd be freaked out by everything.
Yeah, I'm freaked out by everything anyway, so there's no change in behavior for me.
Largemouth asks, thanks for the $10. The pro move is to ask your lass if she is willing to attend a July 4th party at your dear friend Mr. Mouth Ass's place.
You know, that would be good because one, there's going to be normal people there too.
That's a good point. Well, who though?
Mike.
Mouth Ass's wife.
You know what? Mouth Ass's wife is pretty normal. That's true.
I would love to be there, but I'm actually, I wish I was going to that, to be honest, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. His basement is fucking dope. He's got a big yard, and he's not a skinflint.
You wish you were going to that instead of going fishing with Monk? Because I thought you were going fishing with Monk.
No, I'm going fishing with Monk, but I'm saying if I was in the area, I would 100% go to Mouth Ass's.
I love that largemouth is ass, and now he's mouth ass, which I do really like.
Yeah,
I love Mouth Ass myself, boys. I think we can all agree to that.
Dude, he might have like one of the cooler basement setups.
Who, Mouth Ass?
Yeah, he's got a
course.
great basement setup.
You got 6 or 7 pinball machines down there now. I mean, it's living my
giant
dream.
TV, a little bar, if I'm remembering correctly.
We're living like kings.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
He's
All
got
right,
2
good.
cool ass dogs too, I think.
Very.
yeah, they listen.
Yeah. Imagine that. I wonder how that feels.
I don't believe their nutsacks are intact either. I think
Yeah.
everybody's been taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Hit the like button on your way out, friendos. Appreciate you. You can always like the stream. We will be back here on YouTube on Friday. Saturday for Solid Dudes, as of course Friday is our nation's great Independence Day. So hopefully you all enjoy that. But you're back on Friday at 7 o'clock. And we'll be doing episodes of the Chad Duke Show. You can subscribe. There's a link at the bottom, chaddukesshow.com. 1 monthly fee gets you a daily episode, and they're pretty goddamn good. Thank you, boys, for being here. Appreciate you. Enjoy your Monday evenings.
Thanks,
Yep.
buddy.
I'm going right to bed.
Uh,
I'm gonna go read 10 pages of the book, and then I'm gonna be fucking out cold.
knock your ass right the fuck out.
Yeah.
All right, and for Pepperoni, Iron Mike, and Biker Sean, I'm the Shoots to reminding you to enjoy these warm, windy Sundays and summer IPA.
I think about you. You know I think about you.